What's going on, fam? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardeners. Welcome back to our homestead. Today's gonna be a crazy day. We got quite a few challenges that we have to get done today. But you know me, I always try to find solutions. And one solution right now is these little naked necks has been getting out, and I guess the missus got tired of trying to wrangle them in, and she just let them out. Wasn't our first test of the day, but looked like it will be right now. You left your little buddy out there too. I guess he decided not to come in. Guess we got to get that fixed. Why y'all didn't wrangle y'all brothers and sisters out of here? Y'all kin folks. Ugh. I'm coming in. Go get the grass. Go get the bed. No food for y'all either. Now the main task is moving these egg layers out into new pastures. They've been here for quite some time now. We haven't been able to move them because it's been a wet summer so far. If you've been following us along for quite some time, especially on Instagram, you notice our fields get saturated when it rains. It's kind of dry right now. It's a little bit damp. So what we're going to wind up doing is move them to new pasture, so that way they'll be able to roam and manure, spread their fertilizer onto the new pasture, give this area a rest. And the task at hand, though, is I was in an accident about a week ago, and having issues with my back. Took some pain meds. Thank you all for all that's been giving me prayers and blessings and things of that nature. Took some pain meds this morning. My back, some muscle relaxers. My back is kind of okay right now. So what I probably wind up doing is just going ahead and releasing them. We normally, before we move them, the day before, we'll program their run chicken doors to not open that following day and be able to move them. But with the back issues and with the area being pretty damp a little bit, I think what I'm going to wind up doing, hopefully it doesn't kick me in the butt, is I'm going to just let them loose, move the netting, and we're not going to feed them. We're going to wait till we get all this stuff situated and lure them in with feed, because these egg layers are some greedy little birds, let me tell you. So let's see what we can do by doing that. All right, girl. I'm going to let y'all out. Close your in. So this here is Kevin's crew. These are the light Brahmas, and for some reason they just stay in here. We're going to go ahead and release them. Let's go ahead and open up the door, release them. Go. All right, I'm closing it. Took too long. Got things to do. All right, so now we'll start taking down all the netting and then setting up in a new location. Turn this on. I'm trying to move the camera. You see how they do me? I think this plan might work. What y'all think? It really haven't been going out much, except for these rascals. Yeah. Boy. Get the girls and then we can deal with them later. If they get trapped in, they get trapped in. all we have left now to do is put our S30 on here. We got this from Gallagher with the Gallagher vent. This is more of a psychological barrier for the chickens. However, it's a second line of defense at night against land predators. I just noticed the area where we just moved them from. It looked like might be a raccoon that was wandering out in the area. So this is a great security blanket. Woo! Got to turn it off. This is a great security blanket to protect your animals as a second line of defense. The first line of defense are the coops that they're in. We try to make them as predator proof as possible. If you want more information about the Gallagher Fencing, we'll leave the link down below. And if you use our code, you get a percentage off of your order. So what are you making here?
Tomato sandwiches.
And these are from our tomatoes?
Yep. Trying to get this core out. This one was an odd one. It had some splitting on it and stuff, so just trying to take that off.
And then you got some pickles that you made.
And pesto.
And some pesto that you made.
Yep.
Having a nice little tomato sandwich, huh? For lunch?
Yes, this one's perfect sized. This Redmond real salt is the best sprinkled on these tomatoes.
Check it out, guys. Our shade cloths have seen better days. It's sagging, and we're got to prop it up so it can get the proper amount of sun. So what we're going to do, we have another 10-foot tall T-post. We're going to put a tennis ball on top of that so it doesn't tear or fray up the shade cloth, and stick it up through the middle so that way I'll be able to walk underneath it. All of this.
Okay. You lucky, you cute.
Better.
Way better. Now you can actually like kind of get through there. Walk through there real quick. I want to see where it hits your head. That's a lot easier because you were like really...
Yeah, ducking down and stuff.
Yeah.
So knock another task off the list. Now we got the shade cloth and not sagging. I can actually walk through here, give these plants the correct UV lights. Now let's go take a look at our other task that we won't be able to get done today, but we'll tell you a little bit about it. So a few storms back, we had high winds and heavy rains, and basically this old tree had some old limbs and branches, and it just fell down and kind of covered our parts of our garden expansion of our asparagus, watermelon beds, and stuff like that. So we were going to borrow one of our neighbor's chainsaw, but the string on there was being kind of wonky there, so we're gonna have to put this on the back burner. But what we're gonna have to do eventually is just hopefully just tear down the rest of this tree, but we're gonna have to chop up some of these branches, probably use them for either firewood or off in the field, just do a big old burn pile, something of the nature. But some of the expansion garden has basically now just been covered because of this large branch.
Yeah, it's covering our watermelon patch and my roselles.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a priority.
Yeah, so my tools to cut it down is in the vehicle that is being basically a total loss right now. So eventually sometime this week we're going to have to go get everything out of that car, and that way I can use my Sawzall and just start taking limb by limb off of these branches and move it out the way. Now let's do the lawnmower.
So I saw you fly by and you were supposed to be bringing it up for changing the belt that we just spent, what, $96 or $92 on?
A lot of money for a belt. So the belts wouldn't turn, then all of a sudden I was like, let me just try it out. And then it started shooting out grass. It kind of like teetered a little bit, then all of a sudden started shooting out grass. I was like, crap, that's even better. So we're gonna move. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm going to cut along the sides around here, and then we're going to move some of the fence in about a foot or two, probably about 2 feet, and then cut again around inside of that, so that way we'll have a good connection for when the fence gets turned on.
So I would suspect that you're going to bring the fence in and kind of pin them off right behind there with what's there, and just cut that. Okay, so I suspect it's going to crap out and we have a belt.
Yeah. So, but what I did right now is I put it on the highest setting that it go with 4.5 inches, so I don't just stress the grass out too bad, because right now we've been getting extreme heat, and normally you don't want to cut more than 1/3 of your grass to not stress it out as much. But we haven't been able to really cut because of all this rain we've been getting. Like I said, we've been getting a lot of rain. This has been the wettest summer been here on this homestead. The mower's back in action, working again. We got the area around them nice and cut, so that way we could get a good ground, get that fence nice and hot. The missus wanted me to cut inside of there, so that way when she moves the coops, it won't be too much of a burden on her. And when I was cutting, it was just funny seeing all the chickens trying to grab some of the grasshopper that was trying to avoid getting cut. It was hilarious. But all in all, I'm happy with all the tasks that we did today. There was probably a big question why we don't free range our chickens, and we did a video about that. If you want to see that, we'll put that off to the side and also in the description down below. Until the next video, let's grow together.